Welcome to the Gypsy Nurses Back to School Fall 2021 Virtual Conference. I am Rachel Altum, the Online Community Manager for the Gypsy Nurse, and we are on day 2 of the conference. And the purpose of this conference is to teach some lessons on all things travel nursing. These might be new to you or a refresher, but we're super happy to have you joining us to learn and get to know some of these people that are in the travel nurse community. I'm here with Steve Curtin, the CEO of the Gypsy Nurse. I have the pleasure of hosting with him all week long. So I'm going to pass it over to him, and he's going to say a few words to you guys.
Good morning, Rachel. Great to see you again. We are on day 2, and it's been we're off to a fantastic start. We had 3 great sessions yesterday, and we've got 3 more great ones today, and we'll obviously continue through Friday. But yeah, I am very excited about the remainder of the events that we have. Just a couple of quick things. This is our 2nd annual fall conference, and the theme this year, as you said, is back to school. So we are trying to bring content and information to people relative to improving their travel nursing careers, travel nursing lifestyles, and so forth. So we have some tremendous content. All of these presentations will be available on demand over the next few days. And Rachel is showing everybody our updated website to show people how you can find these upcoming events, both on demand as well as live events. The sequence of live events can be found on upcoming events on our calendar. So if you haven't registered for the remaining events that we have, please do so. In addition to that, all of the on-demand events will be available in the on-demand section. For our on-demand content, you must be a registered member of the gypsynurse.com. If you're not already, I ask why, because we've got some great benefits, and we introduce some great new features and resources for members. It's quick, it's easy, it's free. So if you haven't done so already, please become a registered member of the gypsynurse.com. We've introduced a revised job alerts, recommended jobs, event alerts, content alerts, the ability to communicate with other nurses. There's really some great tools there. And again, it's all free. So we encourage you to do that. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Fusion Marketplace, and they will be with us momentarily to talk a bit about the marketplace and how nurses can use the marketplace to find fantastic new jobs. And as they say, we have a little message from our sponsor, a little video message. So we'll take a second and watch that.
So thank you so much again, Fusion Marketplace. If you're not aware of what Fusion Marketplace is, it's a one-stop shop for healthcare travelers where they can easily compare benefits, pay packages, and reviews across multiple agencies. As a traveler first driven platform, Fusion Marketplace is a curated career experience where healthcare travelers can take control of their career. And I'm going to play a short little clip for you guys.
The one-stop shop for your career path in traveler-driven community for healthcare professionals. It brings together multiple job agencies under one roof to make finding your next job a snap. Setting up your unique marketplace profile helps you land the job faster, allowing you to securely store your information and easily compare your options. When you're ready, you can apply with a simple one-click application that puts more freedom and control in your hands. Less unknown, more transparency. Happier travelers.
So again, we would like to thank Fusion Marketplace. And speaking of them, we have Sara Winters from Fusion Marketplace and a panel of travel nurses here today to show you how health clinicians can maximize their career transparency, streamline processes, be informed to make better decisions, and improve their travel healthcare career. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Sara. And hang on, I lost my mouse. There we go. We have Kylie, Tina, and we have Jenna. So thank you guys so much. And then also we're having a giveaway during this session as well, because who doesn't love prizes? So if you ask questions in the comments or just throw some support out there, throw a hey out there, you'll be entered to win a $75 Amazon gift card. So thank you everybody for coming on today. We're super excited for this session. And
welcome.
For leading.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you for participating, and we really appreciate your sponsorship. And I know our community is interested in hearing a lot more, Sara, about Fusion Marketplace and how to take advantage of marketplaces when finding travel nurse jobs. So go for it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having us here. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to another amazing day at the Gypsy Nurse Conference, especially for choosing this specific session. So as a reminder, this is to take control of your travel nursing career and leverage staffing marketplaces. So my name is Sara Winters. I'm Director of Marketing at Fusion. I have been in the healthcare staffing industry for a little over 8 years. The reason why I am so incredibly excited to talk to you guys all today is because our industry is changing. It has been for a while, but even more so with how we've been having to adapt to our current environment. So today I brought with me 3 different healthcare travelers here. So we have Jenna, Tina, and Kylie. I brought them with me because I wanted to kind of tell a different story. I wanted you guys to hear how they've been able to make an impact and also how a marketplace has been able to help them. So take a quick second. I'd love to have our panelists introduce themselves real quick. So Jenna, why don't we start with you?
Hi, I'm Jenna Kurtz. I'm a travel physical therapist, and I've been traveling for a little over 5 years now, and with Fusion for over 2 years. And I'm currently placed in Lindsay, California.
That's awesome. Kylie.
So I am Kylie. I run the blog Passports and Preemies, and I have been working with Fusion Marketplace for quite some time. I have been a NICU nurse for the past 8 years and a traveler for the past 5. Recently, I did go staff about a month ago, so that's been an adjustment and something that I have had to kind of get used to, as I was super used to being a travel nurse. So that's been a little bit difficult, but I'm excited to be here.
Yes, thank you. Tina, hi, welcome.
Hello. So my name is Tina. I am an ER nurse. I've been an ER nurse for 6 years and traveling just over 3.5. I just finished up in Vermont, and I am happy to announce I'm headed to Key West next. I live full-time in my RV with my boyfriend and my 2 cats. We're currently hanging out in Massachusetts for a little bit. That's about it.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you guys all for being here. As you all can see, we have some different, backgrounds, some different experiences, some travelers that are kind of at different points within their career. But like I said, we're really here today to discuss how our industry is changing, how quickly agencies and our healthcare heroes have had to adapt over the last few years. And there seems to be a big shift in technology as well to improve the lives of everyone involved. So how is this helping our healthcare workers take control of their career, though? And then this is where Fusion Marketplace comes in. So now Fusion Marketplace, you guys saw the video. Thank you, Rachel and Steve, for the great introduction. Fusion Marketplace is new. We launched a little over a year ago. Our new website is fusionmarketplace.com. We've already seen some amazing results, but to kind of take a step back, some of you might be wondering, what is an actual marketplace? The funny thing is, you probably already know. We've all heard of Amazon. I don't know about you ladies, but I have a terrible package problem continuously showing up at my front door, right? Yep. But the essential idea of a marketplace is it's a place where you can do transactions, right? Where you can find everything you need in one spot. So now you take that, and how does that relate to our industry? So Fusion Marketplace, like they said before, it's the one-stop shop for healthcare travelers, and it's really so you guys can take control of your career. It brings together multiple agencies under one roof. So that means that you're able to search multiple jobs through multiple agencies in one spot. And what we're really focusing on is transparency, just pushing transparency, because we've done multiple case studies, and travelers have all said, I wish I knew what the job paid. I wish I knew the assignment details. I wish I knew more about where I was going. So not only do you have all this information, you also get to create your unique marketplace profile, save all your documents, your certifications, and then it allows you to apply to multiple agencies just one time. And then there's also new features, such as you can find your housing on there. You can look at ratings and reviews. So you can look at ratings and reviews of recruiters, of agencies. And it's just all putting all of these choices at your fingertips in one location. So that's a mouthful of everything I said, right? Just kind of spitballing there of everything. But like I said, I don't want to sit here and just pitch Fusion Marketplace to you guys. I want you guys to really hear from these 3 women, how it's impacted them, and also just get a little bit of a different perspective. So ladies, you ready?
Ready.
Ready. Okay. So I
Yes.
want to kick off with probably to me the most important question, because what we're really trying to accomplish is really provide a platform for you guys that is traveler first. So what does the phrase, and this can be a free for all, so you guys go ahead and answer whoever, what does the phrase healthcare traveler first mean to you?
So I think that it means like quite literally what it says, like putting the traveler first. And that means before the company, before the hospital, before the recruiter even. And it means like when push comes to shove, that you have like the traveler's best interests at heart. And it even means to me, like, instead of worrying about like the bottom dollar, it's like, you know, what's best for the traveler and how does the traveler feel? And I feel like Fusion Marketplace has done a really great job at doing this and like putting the healthcare traveler first.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. Tina, Jenna, any thoughts on that one? That's a good one. That's a great question. Sorry, I'm loving it.
It is. So yeah, just basically like the path is driven by the traveler, not so much the company, the agency, the hospital. Like it's just driven by you. You're able to help call the shots and that your needs and priorities are met.
Totally.
I agree. Love that. Awesome. Okay, so then some other things that I keep hearing. So there's a lot, like I said, the industry is changing, right? You guys are seeing these type of platforms and these type of tools pop up everywhere. So there's a lot of places calling themselves a marketplace or a job board. What is it that, as you as a traveler, are specifically looking for when you see all of these different options out there?
Yeah, so I think like I'm just looking for like ease and availability of information. You know, as healthcare workers, we're all busy. And I'm looking for somewhere that it's easy to consume information in one place. And that makes me want to like work with a particular company or marketplace. So like, for instance, Fusion Marketplace has so much useful information that's just laid out so nicely. Like if you guys haven't checked out the website, I encourage you to, because it's so easy to search for housing, filter through your pay packages, search recruiters. And again, it just makes finding a job easy. And that's like what I'm all about, is like, how can I get a job the easiest way?
Yeah, absolutely. Jenna, so you're not a nurse, so I love hearing a different perspective too. So you're a PT. What kind of, what are you thinking that would be something that would be different that you're looking for?
For sure, like Kylie said, the easy to navigate, just being able to go on that website and see everything right there and quickly weed through stuff. And that's nice because even when I'm not looking for jobs, I like to just go look on there and see what's available at the time and see what the market's looking like at that point of time.
Yeah,
Totally.
absolutely. It's just kind of a different beast than what it was, 5 years ago on trying to find a job or find, the information that you guys need. I remember my first time when I joined the healthcare industry. Now, granted, I'm on the other side, right? I'm on the agency side. I'm working with Fusion Marketplace. Yeah. So my perspective's a little bit different, but what I really want is truly for you guys to really be able to have control of your job. And I just thought it was so crazy. In any other market outside of healthcare travel, you have that information and you guys have never been given that information before. And it's calling recruiters, it's calling agencies, it's getting information. Then it's like, that doesn't work. Yeah. How do I compare?
Yeah. So Sarah, I do have to admit, like I have a small bone to pick with Fusion Marketplace because you weren't around when I started. Like, it's so much easier today than it was, I think, like 5 years ago. Like, where were you 5 years ago?
I'm sorry. We're here now. We're trying to make a big difference for you guys, especially after the last year and a half that everyone has gone through. I mean, this is just so important. And while businesses are getting bigger and industries changing, the focal point has to be you guys, and has to be where you guys can make the most choices, because you guys are taking care of our grandparents, our daughters. You guys are there. And it's so important to be able to give you guys all the tools that you need to be able to make these decisions. Absolutely. Okay, so I love that you picked a bone. So then do you think there is, I love it, throw it at me. Do you think there is a downfall for using a platform that stores and holds all of your information? Because what I said earlier is we're trying to make this so easy where, again, I know what it's like to apply to multiple agencies. You have to keep all your documentation somewhere,
Yeah.
you know, all your certifications, your references, your resumes, everything. Is there a downfall to having it in one place, in one location?
You know, I think there's a downfall, like only if there's kind of like an abuse of power. Like if that information is kind of being used like against your will. Like in my experience, Fusion Marketplace doesn't do that. You know, we are more driving that. But I think if like there's an abuse of power, it can certainly be a downfall. Because then all of these people have your information and you get nonstop phone calls and emails. But again, in my experience working with Fusion Marketplace, that's not how it's been. So that's been great.
Very cool. Very cool. Tina, what do you think?
I absolutely agree. I feel very safe on the Fusion Marketplace. I don't feel like my information is going to be like spread and I'm going to have multiple phone calls waking me up while I'm trying to sleep. I feel like it's a really location.
Yeah. I think that is kind of a beauty of Fusion Marketplace is because you're storing your information in the spot, but you're not giving your information to an agency or recruiter unless you want to give that information there. Totally. So it's another reason why you're in control of where your information is going and who you're sharing it with.
Totally.
Awesome. Very cool. Cool. What type of features? So I listed off, we have ratings and reviews, we have housing, you can store your information. What type of features or tools would you guys like to have created that could help make the greatest impact on your career? And this, I'm loving this question. I see a lot of comments coming in on the back end, so I appreciate everyone that's watching. Definitely share some of your thoughts because this is a great opportunity to, again, give this back to the travelers of, man, there's an opportunity for you guys to build your own platform, essentially. Tell us what you want on there. What features would you guys like to see or tools?
You know, I think you got Fusion Marketplace has like pretty much nailed it. The thing that I kind of thought about is like being able to rate and review hospitals, but I also think that comes with a price. Like, and it needs to, you know, you have to do it more like objectively. Like I think it's more about like not how you were treated by the staff, but more like how did orientation go? Like, was the hospital organized? Did management treat you well? Did you get your schedule on time? So I think like as long as like that could be rated and reviewed in like an objective way, like it'd be really awesome to see, like, and specifically by unit. Like you could say one hospital's great, but what about that unit? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that would be kind of cool to see.
So that would be useful information for you as a traveler to be able to almost have a facility.
Yeah.
Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah.
For that? Yeah. Jenna, do you think that in your field that would also be beneficial for you to be able to see that and the rest of our PTs out there?
Yes, for sure. I've had a lot of phone interviews where they did a great job of making it sound really nice before I got there. And then once I got there, I realized this isn't quite what I signed up for. So it'd be really nice to have ratings from prior travelers to kind of weed that out.
Yeah, it almost seems like building that community, you know, amongst each other, no matter the modality or what specialty you're in, being able to lean on each other of, oh, I've been here, here's my feedback and my thoughts, because I want the next person that comes here to have a good experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's something that we could probably put on for that next little feature coming out. So, okay, I love it. I love this. What else?
Hey, Sarah, can I jump in and answer Elizabeth's question that she asked in the comments?
Absolutely. Yes. Do you want to read it so everyone can hear?
Yes. So she asked, you have to be a minimum distance away from your home to take a traveling job. While I was out in TravCon, I went to a tax session and I actually learned a lot about this. There's a 50-mile rule that they say. It's actually not like an IRS rule, but you have to be far enough to be able to duplicate your expenses to take tax-free stipends. So I don't know if that helps to clarify anything, but if you want tax-free stipends, you do have to be a distance where you will be duplicating your housing expenses.
No, that's a great question. I'm glad you were able to answer that, Tina, because I know that taxes is a very hot topic, especially for healthcare travelers, you know, especially when they're new getting into it. But even after your first year, you're like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
Who can help me with that? So I think that that's really great information to be able to help Elizabeth with there. Great question. I love that. Yeah, if you guys see any out there, go ahead and snag them and answer away for sure. As a healthcare traveler, what do you guys feel is the biggest hurdle of finding your next assignment? Because you're working with a recruiter, you're working with an agency. What's the biggest hurdle that you guys come up with?
You know,
I would. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like I keep going first. You go. I'm gonna go after you.
All right, perfect. So I would honestly say housing. Like, I literally am going through this right now, trying to lock down housing in Key West. Obviously, it's a hot spot. Everyone wants to be there, but I've called over 15 campgrounds, and I had to get really creative, calling like for private RV lots. I never thought that would be something I would need to dive into, but that's where I'm at. So just being creative. I think the housing is just probably hands down the hardest challenge for like everyone right now, not even just travelers. It's just the housing crisis. So that's kind of.
I think like this is pretty like changed a lot. Like in my 5 years as a travel nurse, you know, the beginning I was super low key and like, oh, anything, sure, I'll take it. And I think like as I went on, you know, my biggest hurdles were like I like the more popular places. So being in a popular place, but also feeling like I had a pay package that was good, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that was like a hurdle for me. And I think it's nice, like on Fusion Marketplace, that you can like search your location and then like different agencies, if they like have that job available, you can see the pay package and compare that way. But definitely the longer I've travel nursed, like the more hurdles I feel like I have just because I get pickier and pickier.
Yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with getting picky. I mean, I think that's also kind of the beauty of having all information in one spot. Because then you can get a little pickier, right? I definitely, correct me if I'm wrong. Again, disclaimer, I am not a healthcare worker. I applaud you guys like no other, but I have been on this other side. So I try to focus on making sure that I get enough resources for you guys to be able to make the best educated decisions. Is it true that when you're a new traveler, you kind of have to be a little bit more open because you're going against veteran travelers?
Yeah.
Is that kind of
I think
there?
I do agree with that. You know, in my experience, like the places that I really wanted to go when I started, I just couldn't get in. And I think it's because I was going up against other like people. And I also think like on the other side, you kind of earn more respect from recruiters, like the longer you do it. Like you're more, you know, you're trustworthy. As a recruiter, I'm not a recruiter, but I would think as a recruiter, like it would be like you're taking more of a risk working with someone brand new than like working with someone more seasoned.
I absolutely agree. I feel like recruiters, like the longer you're with them, the more they're apt to just kind of go out on a limb for you versus when you're new. I know like my third travel assignment was like hands down the hardest one I've ever tried to go to. I was kind of just wanted to go to the Southeast, and I applied to like 15 jobs, and I was so surprised even after my third assignment how difficult it was.
Yeah.
Jenna, what about you? What hurdles have you faced so far?
I would say I definitely have gotten pickier as well the longer I've been in it. Probably the housing has been the biggest hurdle for me. Usually I get my assignment and I'm like, oh no, where am I going to stay?
Yeah.
So, but I love that Fusion Marketplace has added the housing feature now, and I'm excited to use that.
Yeah. We partnered with Furnish Finder. So they're credited, they're great. Their locations already have like the perfect filters, everything on there. So it's nothing that, you know, you're going on, you're like, is this real? Is this affordable? Like you see everything on there, you know? So again, it helps you try to make those well-educated decisions while you're looking for housing. Cause that is the next step. You're like, I got the assignment. Yay. Crap. Where am I staying?
Totally.
Yep.
And I feel that. And Tina, I mean, you said that you're in an RV, and I feel like that's also been a very huge trend that's happened over the last year or two that everyone's kind of been like, you know what, I'm going to take my home on the road and I'm going to do this RV lifestyle. And it's so cool. I'm a huge TikTok follower here. So I'm loving all like the different, like the flipping of RVs and just that gypsy soul lifestyle. So I think it's so cool for you to do that. I don't believe, now tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there's RV spots on Furnish Finder. So is there a way that we can help you find RV spots easier?
I am so glad you brought this up because I was thinking about this last night and I was like, we need to get like campgrounds like listed on there because I've had so many people reach out and just be like, well, you know, how do you find RV spots? And, you know, Google's been my best friend, but I've also had to use like numerous different apps to try to, you know, get creative. So I think that would be a huge spot that we could add on to Fusion Marketplace.
That would be really good.
I love it. Okay, you guys are just giving me such great ideas, and give me some time and you'll see it on there. I love it. Awesome. Okay, so what do you guys think? So I know you all have used Fusion Marketplace at some point. Now I'm a firm believer. I'm not naive to think that you guys aren't on there every day. I don't expect people to be on there every single day, but definitely use it as a tool, right, to be able to help you make those decisions. With your experience so far, what's your experience been with Fusion Marketplace?
Well, I think how you said, I don't expect you to be on there all day. Or okay, yeah, I'm not. But every time I go back, I feel like there's something new because it's like always evolving, like getting better. So every time I'm like, oh, this is new. I didn't see this last time. But just like, it's just easy. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm very into like, you know, a good website design and like the ease of information and how things are laid out. And it's just easy. I mean, storing your information, you know, getting a job, searching housing. It's just easy.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I don't know this answer, but maybe you guys do. Elizabeth asked another question about, and this is just kind of off topic, but I want to make sure we can answer it if we can. So if you guys don't know it, no big deal. But she's asking, what do travelers do for medical coverage during and between jobs? Because I also feel that's another really hot question that healthcare travelers want to know.
So that one. I would, when I travel nursed, I would always take like after 1 or 2 assignments, I would take like a good at least 3-month break from the bedside, and I just used private insurance. And I used to use company. And then but you'd be uninsured during your break. So I just started using private insurance and that worked for me. I don't have a lot of, you know, healthcare needs right now. So I don't know if it would work for everyone, but private was like good for people that want to take breaks between their contracts.
Awesome. So cool.
Yeah, I actually like just went through this because I wanted to take a month off. I actually just had gallbladder surgery last week. So,
oh my gosh, and you're on here right now. Thank you.
I am feeling so good. It's been a week. I'm feeling great. But I was freaking out. I was like, oh my goodness, like my insurance will probably drop. And Fusion was super awesome. They were able to work with me and get me like a short-term kind of disability for the month to get my surgery covered. And I'm so thankful for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's so cool. Awesome. Okay. I got I got lots of questions for you guys too, because I just want to pick your brains and try and give everybody all the information possible. So when you are searching for a staffing agency, let's say, what qualities are you guys looking for when you're finding one?
You know, I think it starts with the recruiter. So when I am talking to a recruiter, I try to just follow my gut, you know. Are they pushing me to something I don't want? Do I feel like they're giving me the information I'm asking for? And then then I'm thinking about the company after that. Like, okay, so does this company staff in the state that I want to be in? You know, what happens if I get sick? Do I accrue PTO or like certain policies like that? And I also am really big into word of mouth. You know, unfortunately, I think if I hear about, you know, a negative experience, I'm less likely to want to work with the agency. And if I hear about a positive experience, I'm more likely to want to work with the agency. But I think it kind of starts with the recruiter, and then you think about the agency second, in my experience.
I love that. So then that ratings and reviews that we currently have, they're currently on Recruiters, and that just got launched. So it's getting ramped up. We're super excited.
Yeah.
So that's going to be helpful. The agencies are going to be rated and reviewed. That's going to be helpful. I actually was going to ask you guys, would it be helpful if we rated and reviewed facilities? So you guys already answered that. Would locations make a difference at all? If you got a rating or review on a location, would that sway your mind at all? Or is that just something like, yeah, obviously I want to go to Nashville. Who doesn't? Or like,
I think it probably would for like smaller towns.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's interesting because again, it's so objective.
Absolutely.
It's hard to kind of give like a good objective answer to that. And then I think like, well, if people are in small towns, are they doing it just because it's a great pay package?
Sure.
So I don't know if that would be useful. What do you guys think?
That's a really good question. So I was just in like a tiny little town in Vermont, and I was like, I don't know nothing about Vermont, but like right near there is Stowe, and Stowe is like a huge location here in the Northeast. People come from all around the country. So it was an awesome town, and it was 15 minutes down the road, but I didn't know that. So like, had there been a review on the location, hey, Stowe is 15 minutes, I would have been like, oh, great. That sounds even better.
Yeah. Now back to my original question. I love this question for travelers to hear from other travelers on how they choose their staffing agency. So this one, I'm going to ask Jenna, Tina, I'd love to hear your guys' responses of like how you choose an agency as well. And you don't have to be biased. So truly just say it.
So in my experience, I prefer a smaller company rather than a larger one. I've been with a few larger ones and felt like I got lost in the mix. I had like different people for each department for every contract, and I never knew who I was supposed to go to. And I feel like things just got mixed up. So now that I've been with Fusion, I've been with them for over 2 years, and I just feel like they know who I am. I only have like 2 people to go to. So I really like that. And like Kylie said, the recruiter definitely makes it. They definitely make your experience. Also, I look for just a company that's responsive to you and cares about what you want, listens to your needs.
That's awesome.
I absolutely agree with that. Just like a well-organized company, like, if they are responsive quickly, those are always like really good flags. If they start like, not answering me or just giving me different answers, sometimes I'll just kind of steer away from them quickly. But the recruiter hands down makes or breaks the company. So if you find your recruiter, sometimes it doesn't overly matter what the company is, as long as you have a really good rapport with your recruiter.
Man, I hear a common theme there. So there are companies out there that are going towards maybe a recruiterless model. I keep hearing that recruiters are very important, right? Very important to travelers.
I always have said, like, I feel like a great recruiter can make a bad company really shine, and a not as great recruiter can make a good company look not as good.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah, totally agree.
Well, I would hands down be any of your girls as recruiter if I could, if I knew how to do that role.
I'll take a gamble on you.
You guys are so fun to work with. What a joy to be able to work with you guys all the time. So Fusion Marketplace, essentially, it's a place for our business, right, and a consumer to connect. We got our agencies, we got our travelers. It's a place where you can sign your travel assignments. I'm going to ask you a weird question. So imagine if you're a staffing agency. So flip your head, okay? Imagine if you're a staffing agency instead of a healthcare traveler. What do you think you would like to see on a marketplace that attracts healthcare travelers? So it's kind of a weird question, because I always find it's very interesting when you try to put yourself in the shoes of someone else. And obviously you both are trying to connect with each other somehow, but as a staffing agency, what would you like to see on there? Hard question, I know.
I think like just having the most amount of information about, say, a contractor, the job, so the pay, the location, just as much information you can give about that area, kind of like Amazon with a product. You go and you look at the reviews, you go and look at, about the product. So just having that all in one area I think is kind of helpful for not only the traveler, but the recruiter and the agency. Kind of just takes out a lot of the little questions in between that you would have to answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think about this question too, like as a staffing agency, like why would I want to be on a marketplace? And I think like, I would focus on like, well, what are the travelers, like, are they having a good experience? Are they taking a contract and then coming back to the website to look again for their next contract, and just like general word of mouth. So that's if I was a staffing agency, like that's what I would be thinking of, I think. But I'm not a staffing agency. I don't know. My staffing agency would fail.
Oh, I doubt it. I have faith in you. Steve Curtin, he just asked a really great question in here in our comment section. And he said, the market has changed for healthcare travelers over the past 18 months, with job search now more favorable for travelers versus agencies. What is the view on the current market and opportunities? I definitely can speak on what I see on my side. I laugh because, I'm in Omaha, Nebraska, and right now it is a buyer's market in the housing industry. It is a traveler's market right now. There are an insane amount of open jobs. I mean, absolutely insane. If you went to Fusion Marketplace right now and you just did a quick search and you saw how many jobs are listed, I don't even think there are enough healthcare travelers out there to fill all of those jobs open.
Yeah.
That's my current take on the current market and what opportunities are out there. But I'd love to hear from you guys on what you see as well.
I totally agree with this. I was just saying, like, if you apply for a job, chances are you're probably going to get an interview right now. Like, so I kind of just like applied one at a time because I just feel like it is a traveler's market, though. The hospitals are ready and they want you. So if you submit your application for a job, you're probably going to get an interview and probably get the job.
Yeah. So go ahead, Jenna.
Yeah, I've actually had several past placements reach out to me asking if I can come back.
Oh, amazing.
Just because they've been trying to get travelers and they can't get any. And I think they like me, hopefully, but
they do.
So I'm going to go rogue on this next question because I just feel like it's a great time to ask it. It kind of popped up. So with all the massive market, the amount of jobs out there, the opportunities there, but it's a weird time to travel right now too, right? So how as an industry, because obviously our facilities are in need of more staffing and is in need of more people, is there a way that we can get more people into the travel industry, the healthcare travel industry?
I think I think about it like it is an interesting time to travel right now, especially when you become a traveler, you do take on certain risks. And this is even before COVID. You have to secure housing ahead of time, pay rent. If your contract gets canceled, you're usually out $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 from that. You could have moved all your stuff there, and then your contract gets canceled the day before. So I also think okay, now with COVID, you have to think about, well, if you start this assignment and you get COVID, we're not as protected. I mean, healthcare providers in general are not very protected. So how is that agency or that hospital gonna treat me if I have to be out for 2 weeks? Or is my contract gonna be canceled? Are you gonna help me with my stipends? So it is more you have to think about. And I think that, if there was more of a guarantee, which it's hard to do, right? It's hard to say, sure, if you get COVID, we will pay for your 2 weeks, whatever. But if that was a possibility, I think that it would make more people more willing to go into the industry right now.
Okay. No, that's such great information. I mean, because as you think about it, I mean, we've had more people retire over the last couple of years and not as many people coming into the industry. And, this is so important because obviously you guys are our heroes. You guys are the ones that are those front line and just helping the entire country, especially right now in our biggest time of need. And so it's important to try and get that word out there that sounds bad, to encourage people to get into the industry and to be able to become healthcare travelers, to fill all of these opportunities and this massive market that is open. Literally cliche, but that world is your oyster right now, right?
Totally, 100%. Yeah.
So.
I think like right now is like the time to travel, and a lot of people are trying to travel right now. And I just think just in general, it's a great thing to try for your career. Just kind of putting yourself out there, it's going to help build your resume no matter what. So if you like it or you don't like it, it comes with certain challenges. I think everyone thinks it's all, roses and flowers, and it's not. But it's great. It's honestly a great industry to be in.
Elizabeth asked, do all contracts allow cancellations? And I think that this is a great question.
Absolutely.
So the hospital can cancel you. And then there's certain things in your contract, can they just cancel your contract and you're done? Or can they cancel you a certain amount of times a week? So if you travel, Elizabeth, that's a really good question to ask your recruiter. And I always like to ask too, does this hospital have a reputation for canceling travelers?
I agree. I just signed my contract yesterday, and it was something I asked my recruiter. I said, what is their cancellation policy? If this were to get canceled, and they let me know it'd be 2 weeks, which is pretty common that they do let 2 weeks know, but not always. Some facilities will just cancel you right away. So just something to be aware of when you walk into that contract.
Very cool. Jenna, Daniel wants to know, what type of PT are you doing?
I work in skilled nursing facilities primarily.
That's awesome. Seems like a tough one. Again, I don't quite know. Awesome.
Tough but rewarding.
I love it. Okay, so we've talked about before, how the healthcare industry is changing. I feel, and this is just based off of my experience here, and I've been here for a little over 8 years. I feel like the industry is still playing catch up on providing that transparency to you guys and to all the healthcare travelers. So do you feel with Fusion Marketplace, it's a place where there is less unknowns there and you have more of that information?
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Literally when I started, I remember I got home from work one day 5 years ago and I was like, I hate this job, I'm leaving. And I Googled travel nurse, and then something popped up and I put my phone number in, which was a huge mistake. Mm-hmm. And I just started getting bombarded with telephone calls and emails. But I remember I didn't know the questions to ask. Yeah. And then if I would try to be ask a question, the recruiters just would glaze over everything I said, I feel like. And with Fusion Marketplace, not only can you see all the information, but it's different to see it online where it's in writing versus talking to someone on the phone about it. I mean, both are great, but it's just nice that you can see it right there.
Yeah. Well, I feel like for most jobs outside of this, prior to me applying to be in this industry, you could typically see at least a range and a full job description and everything like that. So I thought it was so unique that in this industry, that information wasn't out there and it was more kept chested at agencies.
Totally. You can see on Fusion Marketplace, you can see computer charting system used, how many beds. I didn't even know hospitals use different computer charting systems. And back in the day, I used paper charting so I didn't even know that was a thing. So it's definitely less unknowns.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's so good to hear. Switch it up. I just want to ask, what do you guys? And I know Kylie, that you just went full staff.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, good for you. Good for you. I mean, that's always the hope too.
Depending on the day, that's how I feel too.
It's always such a good thing though too that you found your forever home, and that's absolutely beautiful. So we fully support that too. What do you guys, or what did you guys love, or what was your favorite thing about being a traveler? Or what is your favorite thing about being a traveler?
For sure, the flexibility. Like I already missed that. Like you don't have to work holidays if you don't want to. You don't have to request PTO. You can take as much or as little time off from the bedside as you want. Like that for sure was my favorite part. And being able to like live in so many different cities, like you really get to a feel for like versus visiting a weekend. Like I feel like I really got to know like Seattle and San Francisco and all these really cool places that's so unique to our job. Like nobody else gets to do that. So
I agree. I don't get that. I don't get it. Definitely jealous of that.
Yeah.
What about you guys, Jenna and Tina?
I totally agree. Like, go ahead, Jenna. Jenna, go ahead.
You can go.
All right. So I guess, just being able to live in so many different areas. And then like sometimes like I came back to the Northeast to be near family. So opportunities to kind of just, try out different areas, but also like kind of you can choose when you want to like go back to a certain area or, you really like the hospital, you want to go back to it, but you're not sure you want to be staffed there because it's really snowy in the winter or something.
Chase the summer.
Always.
If you want.
Yes.
I'd be the opposite. And it's not just because my last name, but I genuinely do love cold weather. I know. I genuinely I'd chase the cold weather.
How many times have you been able to say that? Not just my last name.
This is a first.
I love that.
It's perfect.
You're gonna like try to work it in like every conversation moving forward.
Oh yeah. And my favorite question is, hey, so what's your favorite season? Well, I don't know. Probably winter.
My last name. I'm Sara Winters and I love the winter.
Yes. I love it. Jenna, what about you? What's your favorite thing about it?
Just being able to explore new areas. Traveling has brought me to some tiny little towns that I never would have discovered, and they end up being some of my favorite places. Yeah. So that's definitely a cool part. And just being able to take time off in between contracts. I love that.
Oh, I love that. Since I'm a small town girl, yes, you want to finish that song, I know. But I mean, my heart totally goes out for those small towns too, especially because I feel like they probably have the hardest time trying to find people to help fill at their facility. So I love that you're able to branch out and find those little, I hate this word, rural areas. I can't say it. Don't judge me on that.
I feel like in smaller towns too, like you can like make more like demands. I don't like that word.
Yeah.
Like you can say like, yes, but I want to work, 3 in a row every single week, or, you can kind of make more demands, like the more desperate a hospital is. So
yeah, I think you have a little bit more like control over your schedule. I would definitely agree with you, Kylie, on that. I feel like these small towns, they're so grateful when you get there too. I've been to a couple of small towns and I've never felt so welcomed when I get there. Like I didn't know I wanted to be there and I was like, I'll just try this assignment, and it ends up being one of my favorite assignments and I want to go back.
Yeah. I love that. That touches my heart like no other. I appreciate that. That's so cool. Had a great question here right on top of my head. Oh, got it. So Fusion Marketplace, right? We've talked about all the different features on the website. But what we really want, so we keep saying traveler first, right? We want you guys to be able to be really in that driver's seat and then just say, hey, people with the technology, build this for us. That's really what we're trying to get across to you guys. So we put together a Fusion Marketplace Connect. So it's a Facebook group. We're trying to build a community. How important do you guys think it is to have that sort of community with the power of this tool and this platform? How important do you think that community would be for you guys, or how it help you guys out?
I love that idea. I think that's awesome. I think Facebook honestly is still like one of the places I go for like travel nurse information. Yeah. Like the Gypsy nurse, they just have like such a good following. So many answers. It's just honestly one of the best. So I think being able to do a Facebook group would be awesome.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. Just get all you like-minded healthcare travelers together in one area. Call it one big thing of ruling the world. I love it. Very cool. What advice would you guys give to the rest of the Gypsy Nurse audience right now on how they can improve their travel career just in general?
I love this question. I think like the biggest roadblock to being a traveling healthcare professional is honestly your mindset. You know, it's not always rainbows and butterflies. And I think a lot of times it's painted out to be that way. Like there's really awesome things about traveling, but there's some really crappy things about it too. And I think just going into your assignment with like a kind of a neutral mindset, like, you know, I think that will allow you to get the most out of it and have the best experience. You know, if you go in thinking like things are going to be great, people are going to love me, I'm going to make best friends, you know, that can happen, but you might be disappointed.
Yeah.
And that I unfortunately talked to a lot of travel nurses who ended after one assignment because it didn't like match their expectations. So I think just like bringing down your expectations and just having like a more neutral, like healthy mindset about like going to your assignment.
Yeah. Oh, that's such great advice. I used to, so Jenna works directly with our student outreach division for our physical therapy department. And I used to go to universities and talk to physical therapists, new grads, and talk about getting into healthcare travel. And I just want to be very transparent, honest, because I definitely feel like give everyone all the information. I'm not going to sugarcoat it to you. I'm going to be kind of honest and blunt about it. It's not for everybody. It's really not. And it really tailors down to exactly what you said, Kylie, is that mentality and having that mindset.
Yeah.
So I completely agree. Tina, Jenna, do you guys have any kind of thoughts around that at all?
I think like also opening your mindset to try new things is huge.
Yeah.
You know, you may have always worked for really small hospitals, and maybe this is your opportunity to try that really big hospital, or vice versa. Or locations, you always do big cities, maybe you try something different. So I think it really just offers you an opportunity to try new things. And I think that's what I would just tell people, like just try it. It's only 13 weeks or it could be less or more, whatever. But, you know, it's an experience that you can put into your pocket.
Yeah. I feel like one of the best things that happened to me during my traveling career was like I didn't get this assignment I really wanted, which did end up being a blessing. So I was kind of strapped like, oh my gosh, I only have a couple of weeks and I want to work. And my recruiter was like, why don't you go here? I've heard great things. I was like, I'm not going there. That's not on my list. And she's like, okay, I think you should go there. And I was finally just like, fine, I'll do it. And it ended up being such a fun assignment. It was in Phoenix. It was so great. I never wanted to go, but I'm so glad I went. It was for sure and that was just like being open and being like, okay, fine. You know, I wasn't that open at the beginning, but yeah.
I totally agree.
I agree with that. Oh,
go ahead.
I agree with that.
Just trust your gut. You know, I feel like your gut is going to tell you a lot. So if something feels right or if it doesn't feel right, just trust your gut.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just be open. I've had so many times where I had a plan, this is where I wanted to go next and whatever, and then it always seems to fall through, but something better comes along. So just be ready for it.
Yeah. Open yourself to the universe and let it just decide for you.
Yes, the world is your oyster.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Kylie, Tina, Jenna, this was probably one of the funnest conversations I've had in a long time, sadly. No, this was just so great, and I appreciate Gypsy Nurse allowing us to come up here and be a part of this conference. There's so many like little tidbits of conversations that we had that could be big, hot topics. I mean, truly, there's a lot of these topics that are going around in our industry that I know is being talked about. So we could probably go on and on forever.
Yes.
But all good things must come to an end. So Rachel, Steve, there you guys are. Thank you guys for joining us back in. We had such a great time. Thank you for allowing us to be back on here.
Well, thank you so much for joining. It was so much fun watching you guys. Information.
Great.
Putting the traveler first is just, you know, what we've always done. And we've, you know, encouraged that to, you know, every agency that we work with. And I'm glad that you guys are really taking a hold of it. And, you know, because at the end of the day, they're the ones busting their butts, you know, getting jobs and, dealing with COVID. I can't imagine, how they all felt, this past year and a half and still dealing with it. And we want to thank them as well. So thank you all the nurses out
Absolutely.
there. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For having us.
Yeah.
Fun event.
Thank you guys. Yeah, again, great session, great information. Kylie, Tina, and Jenna, thank you so much for what you guys do. As Rachel said, we know it hasn't been an easy year or so, so we appreciate what you do in the healthcare industry. And yeah, I think Sarah is great information for our community. I think you guys gave a great overview in terms of Fusion Marketplace and how it benefits and kind of puts the future in the hands of the nurses and healthcare travelers. So excellent information. Thank you guys very much. And Sarah, thank you for Fusion Marketplace's sponsorship of the virtual conference. We're halfway through. We're halfway through, and we've had some great sessions, and we look forward to sessions later today and tomorrow. Rachel, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the goodies and giveaways that we have and how we're gonna take care of those?
Yeah, so everyone that commented in the comment section and asked questions and commented, they will be entered to win a $75 Amazon gift card. So I will be reaching out via email since you registered and get that contact information on where you want it sent. But we will be reaching out very, very soon on our winners and all of that. And be sure to tune in tonight and later today. We have another session at 3 p.m. where you can actually earn CE credits. So that'll be really great. We'll have from Elite Learning, Amy and Leslie.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you all for participating, and thank you for your sponsorship.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye, everybody.